Repaying your student loan successfully is an important obligation. Many times, however, borrowers encounter financial circumstances which can make repayment difficult. If you're having trouble making your student loan payments, you may want to apply for an economic hardship deferment. This video is intended to help you successfully complete the printed version of the Economic Hardship Deferment Request form. We'll help you determine whether you may qualify and explain the sections of the form that you might find difficult. By the way, if you need a copy of the form, you can find one on TG's website listed here. Now let's get started by reviewing what it takes to qualify. In order to qualify, you must meet one of the following conditions. You have been granted an economic hardship deferment for loans issued under another federal loan program for the same period you are requesting this deferment. You receive or have received payments under a federal or state public assistance program, such as food stamps. You are currently serving as a Peace Corps volunteer, or you work full-time and your monthly income does not exceed the federal minimum wage or 150% of the poverty line for your family size and state. Now that you have an idea if you may qualify, let's take a look at the form. Section 1, Borrower Identification, asks for standard personal information, all of which is necessary to complete the form successfully. Section 2, Deferment Requests, asks you to identify which condition qualifies you for the deferment, as well as the date on which you request the deferment to begin. For example, you can request to have the deferment begin on the date you fill out the application. Or, if your loan is past due, you may choose to request that the deferment begin on the date of your first missed payment. Please note, however, that you cannot request a date in the future. Doing so will cause your application to be rejected. After you have selected a date for your deferment to begin, you then need to indicate which of the 4 deferment conditions you meet. Remember, you should select only one condition on your application. Let's take a look at each of them. Condition 1 applies to borrowers who have already obtained an economic hardship deferment for loans made through the federal student loan program other than the one for which they are currently requesting a deferment. In other words, if you have already been granted a deferment for loans made through the Federal Family Education Loan Program and you are applying for a deferment for loans made through the Federal Direct Loan Program, check the box for this condition. If you qualify under this condition, remember to attach the documentation of the deferment, usually a letter from your loan holder showing your deferment was granted. Check the box next to Condition 2 if you receive or have received payments under a government assistance program, such as food stamps, temporary assistance for needy families, supplemental security income, or another program. If you check this box, remember to include documentation showing that you have received these payments. Volunteers currently serving in the Peace Corps should check the box for Condition 3. Be sure to include documentation that states your beginning and expected ending dates of service, and that is signed by a Peace Corps official. Condition 4 applies to those who work full-time but whose income does not meet a certain level. If your monthly income does not exceed the larger of either A, the federal minimum wage rate, or B, 150% of the poverty line income for your family size and state, you may qualify under this condition. To figure out if you qualify, turn to Section 6 on page 2 of the form. Review the chart provided there to determine if your income is less than 150% of the poverty line for your family size and state. Keep in mind, however, that these figures may have changed since the form was issued. To find the most recent figures, contact your loan holder or servicer. Most importantly, remember to attach documentation of your monthly income, usually in the form of pay stubs. If you receive your paychecks through direct deposit, ask your employer for a paper copy of your pay stub to submit with the deferment request form. Once you have completed Section 2 and attached all the necessary documentation, you will need to read through Section 3 and sign and date it. Be sure to put the date on which you fill out the application next to your signature rather than the date you requested your deferment to start in Section 2. Now that you've completed the form, it's time to submit. Send the form to the address shown in Section 7. If no address is shown, send the form to your loan holder, which you can find by going to www.nslds.gov tgs.ed.gov. We hope you found this video helpful, and thanks for watching. For more information, please visit TG's website.